everyone, my name is Katya and today I'm going to show you how to crochet these booties. It's a very easy pattern. It's cooling down outside and we need to keep our feet warm. So let's get to it and create something great. For this project I'm using Bernat blanket. It's a number 6 super bulky yarn. You can choose any type of yarn you want as long as it's super bulky number 6. I'm also going to be using a 6.5mm crochet hook, and you're going to need your scissors and some sort of a marker. The booties that I'm making are going to be for medium to a large size. If you want yours to be smaller or extra large, I will explain to you how to change the sizing. Now to start, we're going to slip knot, chain 2, here's 1 and 2. Into our first chain that we created, we're going to work 8 single crochets. So here's 1. I'm going to try to work my tail in, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now our first round is finished. For round 2, we're going to place our stitch marker right in front of our first single crochet that we worked on. Into our first single crochet of the previous round, we're going to work 2 single crochets. So here's 1 and 2. Again, I'm going to repeat and work my 2 single crochets into my next stitch, making sure to pick up both of the loops as I work. And again, into my following stitch, I'm going to work 2 single crochets. And like that, you're going to continue around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. You should have 16 single crochets. If you want your booties to be small size, just keep round 3 and move on to round 4. For round 3, what we're going to do is we're going to work 1 single crochet into our first stitch and work 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, work 1 single crochet into the following stitch and work 2 single crochets into the next stitch. And that's the repeat, so continue working and I'll meet you at the end of this round. You should have 24 single crochets. So this is how it looks like at the end of round 3. Now if you want yours to be extra large, I would do another round of increases, but this time I would work single crochet, and 2 single crochets into the following stitch. So single crochet, and 2 single crochets into the following stitch. So for round 4 all the way to round 17, what I'm going to do is just work 1 single crochet around. I'm going to continue and work my round 4 all the way to round 17, and I'll meet you at the end of round 17 to show you what to do next. This is how it looks like so far after 17 rounds. Now we're going to work on the heel part next. Let's work on the heel part. Let's chain 1 and turn our work. I'm going to work single crochets into the next 12 stitches for medium to large size. If you're making yours to be small size, work single crochets into the next 8 stitches. And if you're working on the extra large size, go ahead and work your single crochets into the 15 stitches, into the next 15 stitches. So for my size, it's going to be 12 single crochets. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work, and I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches, and like that I'm going to continue working my rows. I worked 7 rows total. So continue working your rows. So this is our second row, and I'm going to finish this row and work on 5 more rows, and I'll get back to you to show you what to do next. So I went ahead and I worked my 7 rows of the heel area, and this is how it looks like. Once again, if you need to adjust the size, you can either work less or more of the rows. As long as it fits your heel, that's how many rows you should do. Next part, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and slip stitch this 2 sides together like this, right over here. So this is our outside of our work, and this is the inside. So try to fold it on the inside. So I fold it like this. This is how it looks like. This is my 12th single crochet that I worked on, and this is my first single crochet that I worked on. So what I'm going to do is insert my hook into my first single crochet that I worked on, and I'm going to yarn over, pull through, and pull through my second loop right over here, like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook into each of my single crochets, but I'm going to try to pick up only 1 loop if I can. If you're having a hard time picking up 1 loop of each from each side, you can do both loops. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It won't even show that much. And once you pick up your loops from both sides, go ahead and yarn over and pull through both loops. And we're just slip stitching it together. Again, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my next stitches, 1 loop from each side, like that. And again, right over here, slip stitch, and 1 more time, like that. Chain 1 and cut your yarn. Like that. We'll work on this tail later, and this is how it looks like. So we stitch this area right here, and this is how it looks like. Now we're going to work on this part and just work single crochets and make it as high as you want it to be, and I'll show you how to work on that part. So here we worked on our slip stitches. I'm going to insert my hook right into that stitch right before our slip stitches that we did, and I'm going to yarn over using my yarn and pulling up a loop like that. This is my tail. I'm going to work on it as I work my single crochets, and I'm going to chain 1. So I'm going to work my tail in and going back into that same stitch that I inserted my hook into, I'm going to work my first single crochet like that. Then I'm going to work my next 5 single crochets right along this side right over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that. Now it brings me to this area right over here, and what I'm going to do is work my single crochets there. So here's 1 and 2 and 1 more right over here. Now we're going to work our single crochets right here, and this is the easier part of finding your single crochets because we already worked on them. So go ahead and work on your single crochets right along this side, and I'll meet you right over here to show you how to work our single crochets until we come back to this area where we started from. So here I have 1 single crochet left. I'm going to work on the single crochet right into that space. Then I'm going to put 1 more single crochet right over here, right there. So I'll work 1 single crochet in there. Then it's going to lead me into this area right over here, and I'm just going to try my best to work my single crochets into those stitches. So that's 2 and 3. Another one right there. Now it's okay if it's going to be a little bit loose because you do want your foot to go through the booty. Here I have one more stitch left. I'm going to go ahead and work my single crochet right in there. And it leads me to this area where we slip stitched into. For round 2, I'm going to go ahead and place my stitch marker back on. And going back into my first single crochet of my previous round, I'm just going to work a single crochet. And like that, I'm going to work single crochets into each stitch around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round to show you what to do next. So I finished my round 2, and I have 30 single crochets worked all around, and this is how it looks like. I'm going to continue and repeat round 2 and work on my height of my booty, and I'm probably going to do 12 more rounds, and once I have my rounds worked, I will get back to you and I'll show you how the final booty looks like, and we'll work on our tails and we'll be done. So just continue working on your single crochets around for 12 rounds, and I'll meet you at the end of round 14. We did 2 rounds already. This is our 3rd round, and we're just going to keep going until round 14. Here I worked on my 14 rounds of just single crochet, and the way I finish off is I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and into this first single crochet of my previous round, I'm going to slip stitch into that single crochet and fasten off. Cut your yarn, and here we have it. I'm going to show you how to make this less pointy. So let's work on our tails, and at the same time I'll show you how I worked on that. So turn your work inside out, and let's work on this tail really quickly. I'm just going to find any of the stitches that I can with my hook and just bring my tail on the inside of my work, like so. And then again, picking up any of the stitches that I can, just kind of slip stitching it, bringing it down like that. And then I'm going to find any of the stitches on this side, bring it this way, and I'm just going to try to hide it, going back and forth as much as I can. Maybe one more, like that. Okay, I'm going to cut my tail. Now, an easy way to fix this kind of pointed heel that we have here is what I like to do is, this is our tail where we finished off, and I'm just going to insert my hook right where we slip stitched into. We slip stitched it together. So I'm just going to insert my hook right around those slip stitches that I did, and just go ahead and bring up a loop using your tail, and just yarn over and bring up a loop again and just tighten it like that. This way it's not going to be so pointed, it's going to be rounded out a little bit. And same thing with this tail, I'm just going to repeat and just use any of the stitches and hide my tail that way using my hook. And the last one that we have left is this one, and same thing with this one. And because I worked my tail in, it's a little bit short. And your booty is finished. Here you have it. It's all done. It's nice and toasty and it's going to be warm. So go ahead and work on the second one the same exact way and you'll have a pair. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and I'll see you next time.